So today's discourse is on service to humanity. And there's so many elements that come into service to humanity, and the aspect we're going to be sharing is starting right here, starting with the self. So when people hear service to humanity, most people think outward, to go out and do something, to go out and, work in a food bank or, these typical things that are outward expressions of service to humanity, which is usually associated with some kind of love for God or a moral, quote unquote, compass. So, what is the source of this? Before we can go out and truly serve humanity, we need to make sure we need to make a true commitment to ourselves in who we are in our relationship with our Creator. And so it's not that, we want to make sure that people understand. For example, giving service to humanity, you could be an atheist that chooses to serve humanity, to go out. Okay? So this is not something that's only one religion or only one belief system. What is needed here first to truly serve humanity, to really serve humanity from whatever point you are coming from, is to know what we're doing and why. So this goes back to our previous discourses on intention, pure intention, love, the power of love, and all of this is weaving into this service to humanity. Every single one of us is different and special and unique. And many of us have heard this from different religions or spiritual teachings. We were born with all this karma and families and personality and talents. Each one of us is a dynamic creation, unique from any other being that exists. Though we may have things in common, we are all unique beings. And this realization is what helps us to take maybe a first step towards serving humanity. Before we can even start to serve humanity, we need to go within. And this is going within to our spirit. You can use chakras or whatever teachings that we have, because we have so many teachings out. Many of us have many, many teachings. Mindfulness, awareness, any of these. Many. we have this physical body, and then we have this etheric body, we have the emotions, we have the thinking mind, the spirituality, the group consciousness, the environmental consciousness, and the universal cosmic consciousness. So just within this unit or your own unit, you're working with all of this energy, all of this light energy dynamics, influences, all of this inherited tendencies, karmic things, all these things come into play. So it can be easier to distract ourselves with something physical, something emotional, something mental, or something spiritual, and to neglect the rest of the self. In a way, we want to think about this being that we're experiencing as a car. So when you look at your car, you look at the full mechanics of the car. So for example, how can you drive if everything else is functioning but the steering wheel is crooked? Or if the tires are flat? Or if the door won't close? You know, when we look at our car as an example, we look at like what is functioning, and we assess our car and we say, maybe I shouldn't get out and drive if my oil pan is leaking. If my oil pan is leaking, I probably shouldn't drive because I'm going to blow up the engine. I think. I don't know exactly about mechanics, but I don't want to you don't want to blow up your car. You don't want to get your car to a point, it's something, and this is a minor detail, a car is barely comparable to us. Before we can get in our car and drive our car, and then we also have to make sure we have our license, registration, and insurance, which might not be our car, but it's our permissions to drive. It's our permissions to drive. So before we go out to do service for humanity or service to, before we go out and start doing certain things, we need to check ourselves holistically and say, is this vehicle drivable, basically? Do I have the permissions? Okay, so let's back up. Before you even can start to get the keys and go, this whole assessment is happening. And in a way, the way this stuff works, it's almost sort of mechanical, but it's not, because we're working with light and energy. What needs to be addressed? What if my stick shift is not working? I cannot ignore the stick shift. I cannot ignore the radiator or the even the windshield wiper fluid. Maybe I can ignore that, but I have to be aware, at least aware of it, so that if I get into a dust storm, I have to realize, hey, maybe you should pull over because you're not going to be able to clean your windshields. There's a certain awareness that has to be there about the vehicle before we can drive and take it out. So the very basic service to humanity is to take care and address the issues that we are having within ourselves. What fears do we have? Because God, or Creator, Karma, will help us to face these fears, whether we're conscious of them or not. Like the Creator is the great mechanic working on us, and we're co-creators. So we can either tell God, you know, I can't get that fixed right now because I don't have the money, I don't have the energy, or don't worry about that, I'll take care of it, or I can fix that myself, or all these different excuses that we come up with. And you could apply it to a car, but it's also here. It's also right here. And it's okay. It's okay if we don't want to address that issue right now, or if we don't have, quote unquote, the money to get that fixed, or the energy to get that fixed, or whatever this, that. It's okay. It's it's love. Everything is love. At some point, we are asked to take care of it. At some point, it will become something that we cannot ignore, where we really face the issues, we face what's going on. And this is a purification. And it's a great purification. And this is service to humanity. This is the greatest service to humanity. If we are being abusive in some way, or ignoring some energy, if we're ignoring some type of energy, or repelling an energy, if we're trying to avoid that energy, if we're trying to push it away, it's like a car. A tire doesn't usually, I do believe in miracles, we do believe in miracles, but usually a car's tire doesn't just fix itself magically like overnight. Usually you have to say, take it to the mechanic, or, you know, if you know how to do that, then you can work on it yourself. But it's not something that we can just, it's gonna break down. And that's okay, that's part of the cycle of life, that's part of life, that's part of the healing, that's part of God's work on us. The change, the healing, that's the exciting stuff. So, service to humanity is first here. It's first here. It's being here in the body, in the emotions, in the mind, in the heart, in the spirit. It's that, and then it's the love for yourself, and the compassion and love. If our wheel is broken I mean, if you have a car, I know a lot of people get frustrated, so it's kind of a good analogy, but if you get a broken wheel, you get frustrated, you know, like, it's broken, I have to fix it. But then we need to ask ourselves, where's the love? Can we love it? Maybe we notice we get frustrated with something that's not functioning properly, but instead of, you know, going up to the tire and kicking the tire and cursing it, maybe we can say gently, well, we need to get this fixed, and relax and let it move. Let the energy move, more easily. Let it move through, pass through. And this is also related to the masculine female balance. So, and serving God. When we have balanced this body, or before it's even perfectly balanced, there might be a crack in the windshield, there might be a dent on the body of the car, there might be a scratch on the car, or, you know, something missing. But you love the car and you know it can drive, you know it's ready. It might not be perfect. There might be stains on the upholstery, or, you know, dirt in the floorboard. It might not be perfect, but it's still drivable. And it's when we know what we're doing, that we're listening, that we have taken care of this body. And then the Spirit is coming in through us and speaking to our heart and talking to us. And it's in love. It's not forced. You feel this love. We recently watched this movie, I Can Only Imagine, and it's a story of a young man who was abused by his father, and he ended up putting out a song. He had to really do some soul searching, and finally he was able to write this song. And long story short, it had to be his song, because it was his soul, it was his light. It couldn't be removed from him. And this song like touched millions and millions of people and changed their life. And yes, he loved music. He loved music and he loved lyrics. So it was out of his love and his experience, he created this song that deeply touched his heart. And then he was asked to sing it. And then it was shared without almost no effort. Did he decide to face certain things? Yes. Did he check his own body, his own, vehicle? Yes. And then it was in that split moment that his service to humanity just poured forth and touched so many people. And that is the way That is how God and energy and light can move. And it's just one aspect because God is indescribable and mysterious. Like we're just babies learning. And that's where the masculine feminine comes in. We say Mother, Father, God, the one parent of us all. Most of the time that's, you hear external, Mother, Father, God. Bring it in. The one parent for yourself, for your dreams, for your goals. Balance the energy. The masculine, active, focus, discipline. A lot of times playful, serious. The feminine side, the nurturing, the womb, the wound. They're both manifestations of love. The passive, the active, uniting within us, the one parent. And it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, but look within yourself for that parent and how you treat this vehicle, how we treat the vehicle. As we're, fixing the car, we don't want to be too passive and just say, oh, it'll be fine, we'll just wait, see what happens. No, sometimes you need to take action. It's that balance and discretion for healing the self so that we can therefore really just service to humanity will just flow outward. It will just flow. There will be no forcing. There's no how it should be supposed to be. It's our unique expression of love. It's our unique expression of love. And it's in love, it's not forced. It's a flowing. And we trust God. And we have perfect faith that all is in perfect order. And we have all these tools. And we cast away fear and doubt. And that doesn't mean to ignore. If you're having a fear or a doubt, bring it in and love it. Find out what it is. Like a little child. And you're not just the mom of it, you're not just the dad of it. You're the one parent. Balanced. And this is service to humanity. So, compassion and love for the self, balancing the masculine, female, or feminine energy, and starting here. It's very exciting. So, Please join us for deep level meditation. God bless you and keep